This is INCRadio, DZEM 954, the voice of truth, the official radio station of the Church of Christ or Iglesia ni Cristo.
You're listening to INCRadio.
Broadcasting live from Chicago, Illinois. DZEM 954 AM station. Here to bring you great conversations about faith, people, places, culture, and recent events all around the district. Join us on YouTube at INCRadio.org. Hello, Northern Midwest and the rest of the world. It's time to get this show started.
Hello everyone. Welcome to another episode of INCRadio Northern Midwest. I am your host for today, Elsam Javel Cruz, live here from Rockford, Illinois. It is so nice to see all of you here with us today. Again, this week we are going to be talking about food. So I know that's like a topic you all like. And I like to think of this one as maybe a little bit like a part 2 of the topic we did last week. Kind of like, like which is, like the variations of like recipes when it comes to like different dishes. But this time around we're gonna make our scope a little bit bigger, a little bit wider than just family recipes, which is like cultures. So joining me here is like one of my good friends, Abe, from in Bloomingdale, and I want to ask him, and of course all of you there in our live chat, like if you've ever eaten a dish in another country or from another country that's like similar to something you ate growing up.
Oh wow. I mean, like we could mention just like all of the rice dishes that we've had, because I'm sure we've all had like rice with anything, like rice with egg, rice with breakfast sausage, rice with bacon, rice with ham. We could go on and on, but one of the dishes that I remember thinking like, oh wait, like this isn't something that was strictly Filipino, was embutido. When my grandma or my lola, like made it when we were younger, when my sister and I were younger, like we would see her making it at home when we would like come home from school. And you know how it's similar to like meatloaf, right? Except it's just like in a log. So I was like, oh, this is meatloaf, but it's not. It looks different. So yeah, that's one of the first things, connections that I made with like Filipino cuisine and other, I guess, American cuisine in this case, right? I'm pretty sure meatloaf is American, maybe. I don't know.
I'm trying to think like how they make meatloaf here, and it's the thing is, I've tried meatloaf before, but I see the similarities. It's just that embutido has a lot of like different bits of like vegetables sometimes on it. Sometimes I know some people they put corn in their embutido, or like raisins on. Actually, I want to ask you that, raisins on embutido, yes or no?
I get it. Personally, not something I would put, but
not a fact.
No, not really. But I see why. It's a nice like sweetness in addition to like all the savory stuff. So I get it.
No, I'm with you there. But I don't like wasting food, so I don't throw away the raisins. What I'll do is if I have embutido, I'll pick out all the raisins and I'll eat the raisins first, and then I'll come back and eat like the embutido, so which is like what I actually like in that.
So you have like two separate meals. So you have your like embutido, then you have like your dessert.
I would say one thing though that it came with a little bit of a culture shock for us when we first came here in the United States, and I thought I wouldn't be able to eat lumpia anymore. But to my surprise, actually the first place we went to eat like when I first arrived here in the United States. Yeah, it was it was more like a Chinese buffet,
Mm-hmm.
and one of the foods that I was surprised was there was like it's egg roll. It's called egg roll, but I think in the Philippines it's lumpia, but not exactly lumpia because there's and I do know there's like a difference
Mm-hmm.
between the two, or I guess it's just the way that we cook lumpia because it's like the way we cook it is like it's like really thin. It's almost like a stick.
Right.
Yeah, it's like stick thin. It's I know some people they make their lumpia where it's like a little bit thicker, right? Now for you, Abe, do you make your egg roll like that, or is it like like a really thinly rolled?
Um. So I haven't made it personally, but I still remember when my Lola used to make it. Like maybe that thick, maybe. Like I don't want to say it was like as big as like a spring roll or like a traditional like Chinese egg roll, but like it was. I guess you would call it like thinner, so maybe like that big or something probably. But yeah, it was stuffed pretty full though. I will say that, but yeah, yeah, I'd say comparatively thin to like a Chinese egg roll.
Because that's kind of like the way we made it, and like seeing like an egg roll or it's a lumpia. I called it lumpia back then. I didn't call it egg roll because I didn't know that it was called an egg roll. Like I was like, wow, they have this here too.
But it doesn't look like what I know an egg roll is.
I mean, I do know, like, if we get it from restaurants, I do know that they look like that, but
Okay.
I just didn't know that you would that there's also, like when we first came here, I was fully expecting to just eat American food, which is basically like like not a lot of rice options is what I was thinking. But another one actually, because in my dad's hometown we have something called Bicol Express,
Uh-huh.
and uh, like if you eat it, like I thought it was like a very very unique dish, but come to find out, come to find out, it's actually I think it might be a variation of curry.
Huh.
It's spicy. There's coconut milk. you know?
Oh, I get it. Yeah, like kind of similar to like a Thai curry, right? To be different than like an Indian curry or like a Japanese curry, right? Like the Thai curry is the one that uses coconut milk. But I get it. Now that you mention it, I was like, huh. Yeah, it's spicy. It has the coconut flavor. Wow. my mind is like, whoa.
No, yeah, and it's interesting that we have like like we go to different countries, different cultures, and we all have maybe, and from what we've been discussing, it's not just one dish. A lot of our dishes we call it differently, and of course there's like variations in it, like what we talked about like last week. There's differences to it, but like the kind of like the core, what's the right word, core principle of the dish, it's like it's there where like with curry it's like it's coconut milk and it's spicy. Most of the time that's kind of like a common factor. It's like it's creamy and it's most of the time it's spicy as well. So there's that common factor, and like even if we call it something different, in the Philippines, or in my dad's hometown we called it Bicol Express, but like I said, come to find out, it's like it's interesting for me to find those things where I'm like, I didn't know this existed in this country, and like I never expected to find this in this country. So Abe, how did you react? Like, what was the first one you mentioned? It was an egg roll, embutido. Like how embutido and meatloaf. Like, what was kind of like the reaction when you first found out that, or when you first kind of like connected the dots that they were like similar?
I knew of embutido first, of course, and then when I saw like the meatloaf, like being made, and then I think well, I don't know if this is actually common because I haven't had meatloaf too commonly, but like I believe it comes with like a tomato sauce maybe sometime. I don't know, but yeah, when I noticed that like it's not only us who has like a meat loaf dish, I was like, where did they learn that? Like, did they borrow that from us or something? Or it's kind of interesting to figure out eventually, like who made it first, right? And see the differences and the similarities between the two. So I was a bit surprised, but then like it made me also curious to try it. Because like I knew what embutido was, even though like embutido I didn't really like, so I was like kind of curious, like, I wonder if meatloaf tastes the same as embutido. So, I mean, I'm okay with it. Like I haven't, like I said, I haven't had meatloaf too much, but I mean like, it's fine. It's fine with me. Like I don't hate it. I'll eat it sometimes, but I'll prefer like other foods. But yeah.
Now that you mentioned that, I do want to know now. Do you like trying foods from like other cultures? Like even like I know you travel quite a bit, but
I wish.
You just came back from one of your vacations recently, a couple weeks back.
Yeah.
So, do you like trying other foods from like other cultures?
Like the one of the ones that I'm thinking of right now, like we've all heard of like I guess this is like another common dish, like America and I guess Philippines too. Like we have a version of like a fried coated meat dish, right? Like fried chicken, for example, right? And then is that the same? I guess in Filipino culture, like it's fried chicken. There's nothing else.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about.
But when I was in Korea, and I guess Japan too, for those who are in Japan, like they have their katsu, right? Or like fried like cutlets, like breaded and fried cutlets.
It's like the ingredient to that. If I'm not mistaken, it's pork, right?
It can it's most commonly pork cutlet. Yeah, for I believe that's a tonkatsu, right? For Japanese, yeah. But there's different kinds. You could do that like with chicken, also. But that was another similar dish that I mean I was like immediately curious to try. I mean, but like one, who doesn't love fried food?
Yeah.
So, but two, yeah, I was like, okay, it's pretty simple, right? In principle, in theory, right? It's just like a fried breaded meat. So like there wasn't really anything to be scared of, I guess. It was just like a simple dish, so I was less afraid of trying it. So
no, I know I didn't actually plan to ask this question, but you mentioned that and it popped in my mind. I was like, what's like like would you be able to, or would you be willing to try like a dish from like maybe another culture where it's not like let's say the ingredients are not something you would commonly eat?
Ooh. I'm trying to think. Like I feel like I need to make comparisons to something.
Like let's say in France they eat like snail, right? Sometimes.
Oh, I've tried. I've tried.
Snail, like,
yeah.
Oh, you've tried?
I've tried escargot before. Yes, I have.
How does it taste like? Actually, I want to know.
I compare it like texture wise, kind of like a mushroom.
I can see now. Yeah, I can. Is it weird that I kind of understand when you said it tasted like mushroom, or the texture? I mean, it's like mushroom. Like, yeah, I know what the texture of mushroom is like, so I can kind of imagine.
Yeah, to me, like it has that like. I'm like doing this like springy, like bouncy, like type of texture to it. But yeah, I mean, like with escargot, I mean, it's also flavored with like lots of butter and lots of like garlic, so that'll help if you like butter and garlic. But yeah, escargot, I'll try again.
Is Is that was the escargot like kind of like gamey or not?
I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't really call it gamey like lamb or like other types of meat. Not like that in a sense.
Uh,
I don't know if like briny is kind of a word too. Like kind of like not
ah,
like
uh,
it's not really salty, but like it kind of has that
mm-hmm.
flavor
Something
to
like
it.
that, yeah. Kind
Yeah.
of like like when you're swimming in the ocean, you get a little bit of like the seawater in your mouth.
Yeah,
Just like
I
oh
get
that.
it. Maybe not that intense, but
Yeah.
similar. Yeah.
Yeah. Like say you just you just emerge from the water after diving like in the ocean, like a little bit of it gets in your mouth, you're like oh it's like a little salty. But I do want to know what would make you want to try like food from like another country. Like what's like just from just the first glance you're like okay I want to try that.
Aside from just being hungry at the moment, to like, oh, I want to try something new. I mean, at least with, no, because I was gonna say when I was in Korea, like, there were some foods that I tried like that were already similar, so they weren't completely brand new to me. Like some of the pastries that they had, like the fish, not really pancakes, but kind of like pancakes. You know, they're like, I guess I'll call it like a pancake, but it's like a handheld like fish pastry with like a filling inside of it. They had that, and like similar desserts that I had too, and like in the markets they had like, different meats that they had, kind of like in the Philippines too, right? Like they have like our street foods, right? Like our grilled items. So at least to me in my experience, I haven't really tried anything that was completely new, but yeah, I don't know if I would branch out to try something completely new unless it was something a little similar to something I've tried before. I'd have to do some research.
I feel like I'm more like I'm more of a risk taker when it comes to like new foods because I would be like if it's colorful, if I like the presentation of it, I feel like I would try it. I would try it. I would give it a try like once, maybe see if I actually like it. Because okay, then a little bit of the story. I was like a picky eater as a kid, and
Oh,
I
me too.
missed out on a lot of food. I think I mentioned to you before. I didn't eat cheese until I was in high school. I never tried cheese until I was in high school. Like I tried it once, didn't like it, and didn't eat it for
I think I
for a couple of years of my life. Like I and like missing out on that like made me think of like okay I gotta be more daring with my with my food. Of course I don't just eat it without knowing what the ingredients are.
Right.
I would ask what the ingredients are first, but if it's like okay I think I don't think I hate any of those ingredients. I think I can eat all of those ingredients, so I kind of just like oh okay I'll give it a try. If I don't like it, well, I won't get it next time. If I do like it, then guess what? I found a new food that I like, a new food that I would enjoy. Then I just want to say, like this with this topic that we've had in the past 2 weeks, it's like food is just such a good way to like connect with like I don't know with other people, with other cultures. Like you can share. I remember like in my first the first workplace I ever worked at, that was one way that one of like my coworkers kind of broke the ice with me because they gave me like these snacks. I don't remember what they're called, but these snacks from like India, and it's like it's so flavorful. I wish I asked them what it was, but it's like a a, a chip, like a not really a potato chip. It's like a different shapes, but it's like a biscuit that's like really flaky, and it's like it tastes really good. And I was like, if I didn't have co-workers from that culture, I probably wouldn't have tried that snack, and I'm still looking for it. If I know I gave a kind of vague description, but if you know what I'm talking about, just please put it in the live chat because I really want to find it again. I wish I asked back then what it was called, but I
Yeah.
didn't. But on that subject, on that matter, just maybe as a last question, I would want to ask all of you guys, there in live chat, and you as well, Abe, like, if you could share one dish from like your culture, like Filipino, like in the Philippines, if you can share, or doesn't necessarily have to be the Philippines, if you want to pick something from another culture, if you can share it with someone else, what would it be and why?
Oh no. like,
Like, let's say you're introducing this person to this culture, right? You're like,
Okay.
this is the food I want you to try.
my immediate thought, although I might find it a little hard to share, is lechon.
Oh,
I mean, because like it's enough. It's a big pig for everyone to like grab a piece. So I'm
I
trying
would
to think.
say before it's cut into pieces, it
Yeah.
would be. I guess it would look a little intimidating for like
Yeah.
if it's your first time eating lechon.
Mhm.
It's a little intimidating to
Yeah.
see the whole pig. Like, you probably give them like the ones that are already like it's already been portioned, cut up, and
Right.
portioned. It's just like, okay, you don't need to see the entire pig, because I feel like at least for me, when I first ate lechon, I was like, it freaked me out a little bit. I was like seeing, like, I didn't expect it to look like
To see the whole pig.
Yeah.
You just saw pork and skin, and you're like, delicious.
So lechon would be what you would.
I don't know if I would actually go for lechon. I might go for one. I don't know if I can narrow it down quite yet, but I would go for one of the pancits that we. I mean, like, there's a lot of varieties that we have too, right? Like pancit canton, pancit bihon.
Yes.
What other ones are there? I can't remember them all.
What it's called, but like you have like the thicker noodles, you have the thin noodles,
Right.
You have the one that's like from like the grocery store, that's like really cheap, that's like really good. It's like I don't know what flavoring they use for it. It
Yeah.
tastes really good.
Yeah, I'd probably pick one of those because I mean, like, noodle dishes. Like, if you even think about like Italian culture, for example, right? Like, pasta dishes are so abundant, right? And I mean, aside from like calories, right? Because they have all the sauces, and it's so good. And like, there's so many toppings and like ingredients that you can add to it. But I mean, those type of dishes I think are meant to be shared, right? So, I mean, granted, you will get full because it is like a carb, but yeah, I feel like pancit and like those types of dishes are, I mean, not too difficult to make, but at the same time, like, really easy to, share with other people. So, yeah, I think I would go for a pancit dish.
All right. Yeah, I mean, I'm like, that's a really smart thing to consider, because like, yeah, it's common in like a noodle dish. It's like
Yeah.
very common with like other cultures, even if they don't call it a noodle.
Yeah.
Like they might call it pasta, but it's similar enough that it's not too intimidating to try.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah, it's similar enough that it's not too intimidating to try something. And like you said, like like noodle dishes, very easy to share with other people. So either in the live chat, I hope you're all putting what you would share. That like if you were to introduce someone to your culture, or doesn't have to be your culture, it can be like you want to introduce someone to Korean food.
Yes.
like you should try this. You should try this.
Okay.
this
Korean
right?
barbecue.
Yeah, what would it be? What would you make them try? And while you do that, we'll have our CSD department teach us how to sign the word foodie. So if you're a foodie, this is the sign for you.
Me. That's me.
This is your
Hello, brothers and sisters. My name is Sister Sophia,
and I am the secretary for the Christian Society for the Deaf in the District of Great Lakes. And for today's sign of the week, I'm going to teach you how to sign the word foodie. Now, foodie is consisted of many different signs put together, so we're going to do each of them step by step. First, what we're going to do, put your hands up just like this, make sure all your fingers are together, and have both of your hands facing each other, and then bring them down vertically. Now, for the next sign, all we're going to do, with your hands, you're going to keep it like this. Instead, you're going to make a motion going inward in front of your chest. Now, for the next step, all you have to do, now with your thumbs, put them at the tips of your fingers on both hands, and then pretend you're eating and do that motion. Now, for the last step, very simple. All you have to do is pretend you're holding a cup and pretend you're drinking something. Now, we're going to put all of that together. So first, hands go down. Next, circle around your chest. Next, you're eating. And now you're drinking. One more time. And that's how you sign foodie. Thank you for joining us in today's Sign of the Week, and we hope to see you more in future activities.
This is your
Very, very interesting. I know it's a bit of a long sign, but it's interesting that it consists of a lot of different combinations of signs. It's like kind of also very intuitive. And speaking of different, we had different activities
Nice.
throughout the week. So let's find out what activities we had this week.
Beautiful with action.
Oh, what's the congregation of Chesterton with their family fun day? They went bowling. They're practicing for one of our upcoming activities. You'll find out later.
Wow, look at all of them. So talented.
I know.
Looks like a lot of fun too. Nice.
I wonder, like, you guys there in the live chat, do you have your like own custom ball for like bowling?
I
'Cause
do.
know some- Oh, you
I do.
Uh,
Yeah,
I would say
Cincinnati
if you
too.
do. Yes, Cincinnati they also went bowling for their family fun day.
Yeah. I only have one, to continue with your question though. I only have one. I know some with a lot.
Yes, and then the local congregation of Lake County had their CWS Arts and Crafts. They did coloring, so they printed out some stuff for the kids to color in. And as for our upcoming activities, let me just show you them real quick.
Yeah, I'm excited for what's to come, especially tomorrow. Actually.
Yes. Our
Woohoo.
upcoming activities. Let's find out. We first have our Tagisan ng Talino. The local level competition will be held in March and April, and the district level competition will be, or district final, I should say, will be in June. So contact your CWS officers and if you're interested in signing up, or if you just want to ask some questions about the activity. And this is what is happening tomorrow. Tomorrow on Sunday, we have our Unity Games bowling. For most of us, it's going to be in Stardust Bowl, so that's at 4 p.m. Eastern, or Eastern time, right? 4 p.m. Eastern time, if I'm not mistaken, or
Central time.
correction, 4 p.m. Central.
You could get there at 4 p.m. Eastern. Oh no.
Yes. Oh wait, you'll be an hour early. But for those of you who are in Cincinnati, Indianapolis, Louisville, Cleveland, and Columbus, you will be in Roll House Fairfield there in Fairfield, Ohio. And one more activity, we also have our volleyball clinic and CWS games that will be on March 8th, Saturday at 10. It starts at 10 a.m. and ends in 1 p.m. That'll be held in the Wintrust Sports Complex. And if you want to find out more information, you can ask your local CFO officers, and they'll probably be able to send you this promo, and of course, let you know about the all the information you need to know for these upcoming activities. So hopefully, you're all looking forward to all of those. And I know one last part of our show that you all want to see is our hashtag challenge. So let's find out who won last week's hashtag challenge.
I can't sing it this time. My voice doesn't go that high.
There
you go.
She can sing it perfectly. Our honorable mentions to Marioka and TJ and Tara. Thank you for tuning in with us last week. And fourth place is Sterling Heights. Woo! And Brother Noel del Rosario from Chesterton won the individual fourth place. In third place is Rockford and Sir Diana del won the individual third place.
I like that. Congrats.
In second place is Bloomingdale and Sir Rachel Lynn Weiser wins second
place, which means
first place is Chester and my mom.
Yay!
No first place, yeah. Sorry, I'm trying not to celebrate too loudly, but yes. Congratulations to all of our winners, and of course everyone who continues to participate in this. In a hashtag challenge. We might have some more for you next week, but we do have to close off our show. So before that, we want to say happy anniversary to Weirton Extension for their 7 years anniversary last February too. And we do want to say our special thanks as well to our district ministers here in the district, Brother Arthur P. Agag, our assistant district minister, and Brother Elmer Sarmiento, our district minister, and of course to the rest of the district staff as well. And a very special thanks to Brother Wally Taray, our INC radio station manager, to Brother Angelo Iranyo V. Manalo, our CEBSI president and CFO coordinator, and Brother Eduardo V. Manalo, our executive minister. Thank you for allowing us to have shows like this, and we will see you all again next week. Stay phenomenal, be phenomenal, and have a great weekend. See you in the bowling.
Bye. Food. Let's be foodies. I forgot.
I forgot the sign as well. It's a bit long. Just replay the episode so you can see it again.
Bye.